Hey, all you guys, gals,
and non-binary pals, welcome to the 411
on what's going down in the 402 with the people, places,
and culture of Omaha. Sit back and chill while we chat with y'alls. Welcome to this episode of the 402 with your host Lewis
and Faro.
And with this episode, we'll be talking about sexual erasure. And I know it's a loaded term, so let's start out by dissecting the term sexual erasure.
So, by definition, sexual is pertaining to or the nature in which someone identifies themselves intimately, as well as their attraction and overall preference.
Erasure is the act of erasing or removing. So by definition, sexual erasure is the removal or erasing of one's sexual identity or segregation based on one's sexual preference. And no other people deal with sexual erasure other than bisexuals, pansexuals, and asexuals.
Well, I wouldn't say they don't deal with it, but the most targeted audience with sexual erasure is bisexuality, pansexuality, and asexuality.
Okay. So let's start with bisexuality. From the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it's defined as being characterized by sexual or romantic attraction to people of one's own gender identity or other gender identities. And this is emphasizing more on the sexual attraction side of things.
So, pansexuality is characterized by sexual or romantic attraction that is not limited to people of particular gender identities or sexual orientation. Pansexuals focus more on other qualities of a person rather than their own sex.
And then we have asexuality, which is not having sexual feelings towards others and not experiencing sexual desire or attraction. But this does not rule out that asexuals do not feel love and they are not considered broken because they do not have that sexual attraction.
According to a study done by UCLA, approximately 1.7% or 3 million people identify as asexual in the United States.
So, a lot of us kind of had this weird bisexuality phase in our lives, especially during middle school, where we couldn't really, we're coming out of the closet, but we were scared to fully come out. And so bisexuality was typically the safe term, so other people won't think you're completely weird or something. But I feel like people have just seen bisexuality as it's just a phase. You'll either come out as straight or gay or make up your mind. It's not like that, though. Bisexuality is often just overshadowed through that time period of questioning, that people often forget that it's a real thing. People have attraction to men and women.
Yeah, I think it's also, it goes without saying that we are human. We're attracted to what is attractive to us. It doesn't, attraction doesn't know gender. And I feel like people misconstrued sexuality with attraction. They're similar, but they're different. You can be a guy and think that another guy is handsome or is well dressed that day, without necessarily having to be homosexual, because you don't have the intention of wanting to pursue a sexual relationship or intimate relationship with that person. And the same goes with you can find beauty in someone without being sexually attracted to them. And I think that by shedding some light onto that, we can get rid of a lot of problems that are currently going on. So with the bisexuality, I think that the reason it is such a common thing is because it's this kind of androgynous phase or androgynous moment that we enter when we're exploring our true sexuality. And obviously you open the doors and you allow yourself to be with males and females and see which one you feel most comfortable with. I think it's important to not put labels on things until it's a solidified thing. So even people who are asexual, don't just throw words around. Really feel things out. Go through the experience. Repetition is key as well. If you're experimenting, experiment safely, obviously, but repeat that intimate moment with that certain person and really see if that's what is for you. Also, don't shame yourself. Don't belittle yourself. And be patient with yourself as well.
And nor be like, don't let others say like, oh, you have to pick one, or assume that, oh, you're a slut, why are you hanging out with both? Like, it's not that decision. It's like, its partner is a partner. It just so happens that you enjoy both. You enjoy whatever you enjoy. You love whoever you love. And this happens with pansexuality as well, commonly.
And I feel like that goes back to, not shaming yourself or feeling that guilt for being who you are. At the end of the day, you should never apologize for who you are. You should apologize for your actions.
Like, all that pressure is asking you, like, your identity does not matter. You do not exist. You have to be defined by whomever you go out with. And I understand with some asexuals that some people see them as broken. Like, my best friend, she identifies as asexual. And she goes out with a man. But people assume that she's straight. Or just think, oh, they're just a normal hetero couple. But she doesn't perceive him like that. It's mostly, if not all, intimate, just like that personal loving relationship.
Definitely. I actually met a man a while back, I want to say about 2 years ago, and it was very interesting because it gave me a good light into what asexuality is and the mindset of asexuality. So the way that he explained it is, it's when it comes to certain urges or like masturbation and things like that, those are more of like hygienic. He said he related it to him brushing his teeth or taking a shower. It's something that the body needs in order to function, but it's not something that he necessarily fully enjoys or has an interest in. Obviously, if we didn't have to brush our teeth, we wouldn't, It's tedious, it is what it is. No one's glorifying brushing your teeth, but it's something that we have to do in order to have a functioning body. And so asexuality has this stigma to it, but honestly, asexuals are able to feel love, accept love, and show compassion, show love as well. They're still human. They still feel the same exact emotions that you feel.
They just don't feel that sexual attraction.
Exactly, that need for, and they can still be attracted to you, still find you a beautiful person, still love your bum, or love the way your eyes glisten this way and that, but
that feeling isn't there.
Yeah. That the need of sexual affirmation, they don't need that sexual contact in order to feel fulfilled, which honestly, me being pansexual, I can't fully comprehend it, but I do respect that because it seems very efficient. Can you imagine a life where you don't have to feel fulfilled sexually in order to go on about your life?
Like, I feel like in some marriages and relationships, like, it's the sex that keeps it together, and that's not what true love actually is.
I think we should be careful when identifying what true love is, because a healthy relationship does need intimacy. What that intimacy entails is between those two people, or that group of people, when pertaining to polyamory and things like that. But intimacy is crucial. But you can be intimate in holding hands. You can be intimate in kissing. You can be intimate in writing each other letters. You can be intimate in over the clothes things, or whatever, you know. Everyone has their own kinks. Everyone has their own preferences. But intimacy is definitely important in a healthy relationship, because it's the way that you're vulnerable towards each other, and expressing that true nature of wanting to be vulnerable and taken care of, and taking care of the other while they're vulnerable, and respecting the boundaries and knowing the fluidity of the harmony that is love, you know? So I do have to disagree with you on the aspect that intimacy is not important in a relationship, but when it comes to sex in general, there are healthy relationships that are asexual. So
yeah, what you were pertaining to was everyone has their own sense of fulfillment, that sense of intimacy, what they define as intimate.
Yeah, definitely.
Every pairing. Thank you for correcting me on that.
Oh, no, definitely. No worries.
So we wanted to give you guys a resource that you guys can use if you're ever wondering or questioning anything.
This resource is actually based in Bellevue, Nebraska, but covers the entire Omaha area as well as Lincoln. So it's the PFLAG Omaha support line, and their phone number is 402-291-6781. If you have any questions about maybe defining your sexuality, or if you're in a situation with segregation amongst your community based on your sexuality or anything like that, they would definitely be the people to go to. If you need more information about what we talked about today, or just general counseling, they're definitely the place to start. So I definitely recommend them.
That's it for this episode of the 402. What you think? It's just a small facet of Omaha with so much more to cover. Until next time, make some noise for our communities.